Hey guys, what's going on? So everything on this camera for some reason is inverted. So hopefully you guys could hear me because I'm using my tablet right now. I wasn't able to use my phone, just got into the house, so the connection with that is not that great. So definitely let me know if you guys could hear me. All right, so we're gonna head downstairs. So this is where I plan on having the fish room. So I haven't really given you guys much of an update recently because we've been going through the whole move. And with that, I haven't had really much time to do any of my normal videos. So let's get all these lights turned on so you guys can see better down here. Right now, these are all these drawstring lights, which I do not like. I like to have a regular light switch so they could just turn on and off easily. So Faith asks, how many fish do you have? So right now I have, last time I checked, which is probably like a month ago, I had around 12 fish. So those are just 12 guppies. And the reason I did that is I wanted to scale down a little bit just for the move before I got everything going. That's interesting. That piece of insulation was not there before. So what you're seeing right now is the actual basement that has 8-foot ceilings. And it's a pretty decent size. There's a lot of humidity in here. So one of the projects right now, we haven't really done anything with the basement, is come down here. We have to scrub these walls and scrub the floor and clean it up. There's a lot of powder. So as soon as you walk down here and walk back upstairs, you leave trails of footprints everywhere. So I have to actually get down. All the other ones were all condensed into that one tank, just to make it easier for the move. So there will be videos on that. The tank is running. I have it in the living room. They've been taking care of it. Actually, pretty much my younger brother has been, but he usually takes care of my fish anyway while I'm away. So I gotta record and also read these at the same time, which is a little weird. All right, the aquarium life asks, are you planning to keep any other fish in the future? And yes, I do actually plan on keeping other fish in the future. I used to have plecos. I want to go back into plecos. I want to try some angelfish, maybe some discus. It really depends what I'm able to get in that space right over there in that back area. Um, my ideal way to set these tanks up is to have a desk in here, and then behind the desk have some bookshelves, and on the bookshelves have tanks there as well. I wanted to put 8 10-gallon breeders and then have two 40-gallon breeders. So the 40 gallons would be able to keep the larger fish, and then the 10 gallons would be able to breed the guppies, and then vice versa. So I posted a GoFundMe explaining what the project is and how I plan on building down here. So this right now is the current basement in its raw form. It does have to be insulated. So that's going to be one of the projects, getting some light, some power, some outlets, all that good stuff down there, which now that I got an outlet. So when I bring my aquarium down here after cleaning it up, there's one outlet right there. That'll probably get the lights going and the air pumps. I don't really see any other outlets down here, so it's just those right there. Well, that's a little bummer, but that's what we got. Yes, Air Bear Scott. I am going to upload the stream when I'm done, so I'll be up on the video. So what I plan on doing is blocking off that back section with the heater and the panel, and then having the fish room, which is going to be in this area right here. It's a little hard to tell the actual size of it on camera, but it's a pretty good size. So I could put like an office there and a small fish room, maybe something that's like 10 by 10, maybe 10 by 8. Nothing too crazy, just enough to meet my needs. So I'll have a desk in there and then also have the fish tanks. Then we have stairs over here. This is a great area right over here for a closet, something like that. And then the rest of the basement, we're just going to close off and turn it into just like a hangout area, you know. So this is where the fish room will be located in this area right here. We actually have, which awesome is we have water right there. So if you see that blue pipe going straight up, that is water. And then hot water is there as well. I don't really plan on using hot water for my fish unless I try to regulate the water temperature. And then all the sewage pipes is right here. So all I have to do is tap into those to do water changes, and the water goes straight out into the cesspools, which exit all in that back corner. So I think there is a very, very good setup in here and potential for something awesome to be set up. All really have to do is insulation, but before that, we have to get an electrician here and put in some outlets. Like I said, there's only one in here. So feel free, guys, to ask questions while I ramble on. I don't really have too much planned for this video, so definitely ask some questions and we'll go from there. Oh, Dan, that'd be awesome. If you know electricians, definitely looking for those. Am I going to be painting the walls? No, I'm not painting these actual walls. This is just the walls for the concrete and the foundation. I plan on putting some styrofoam in there. It is pretty humid down here. I can't really. So these silver ducks that you see above you, well, above me, those are the AC. It's forced air. So those pipes, when they get cold, they do build up some condensation on them, and they do drip onto the floor. So it's definitely gonna need a dehumidifier down here. I know Greg Jones, if you follow his YouTube channel, he has a dehumidifier in his basement, which tanks do cause some evaporation. So that's definitely gonna be needed down here. It was worse when the windows were open. The builder left all these windows down here open, so I closed them all up to keep some of the humidity down. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be painting these walls. Once the wiring is in and there's going to be some insulation in the wall, some foam, probably going to lift up this floor about an inch so they're always on 2x4, so you're not walking directly on the concrete. You're lifted up a bit. I know my parents' house is directly on the concrete, and wasn't a big fan of that. So I feel bad that I haven't made videos in quite a while. It's been, I want to say, over a month from my last video. And I need to get back into this, but there's been so many projects going on. We had to put mirrors in the bathrooms, some cabinets in the bathrooms. We had to do, let's see, the walk-in closet had to be done. The grass out front was crazy. My girlfriend's mom actually gave us a lawnmower that I fixed up. So we were able to cut the grass with that. So that was a project on its own. Then it's pretty much just setting up everything in the house, getting the boxes moved. It's just a bunch to move. That's why I haven't tried moving the tanks yet, because I didn't want to neglect them too much. So when I had my brother do it, at least he was taking care of them for a bit. So that way I don't have to worry too much about those. But this is pretty much a pretty large area. There's a lot of good storage up there. Don't know. It's definitely going to be storage. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. And then the 8-foot ceilings help a lot. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to set this up or know anyone in the area of New York that would be willing to do some project work, that'd be great. I did mention before the GoFundMe, so I have that going if anyone wants to donate towards the build. Pretty much all of this is going to be done as I save money, so it really depends on prioritizing the project. So the fish room might just be a tank sitting over there, one of these corners, for some times. And then once the money is saved and we're able to start building, the basement first has to be, you have to enclose the whole basement first before you're able to even get to the fish room area. But then the project's going to start going. There's going to be videos upon videos. So either 2 or 3 videos a week as we do the projects, because it is going to be a large build. We got to run, I want each tank to be running on its own sponge filter. Nothing's connected. I mean, originally I wanted to have all one system, but if some fish get sick, they all get sick. So I wanted them all to just have their own sponge filters. So with that, I'm going to put some airline hoses. We're going to need all that, electrical again, water. I have to have a sink or something over there to be able to pump out the water as I do water changes, because I want to do automatic water changes. make them as simple and easy as possible. Got to make sure the Wi-Fi, which I think right now I have 2 bars of Wi-Fi down here in the basement, which is great. The router is literally right above us. So that's awesome. Don't have to worry about internet connection down here. And then I have to get a dedicated computer to be able to edit my videos. I was using an old laptop that's now sitting in the garage. Think it's time to retire it. The one I'm recording on now, I use a lot on work, and it's just my tablet. This is my Surface Pro. I use this a lot at work, so I don't want to have to keep going back and forth with it. So eventually, dedicate a computer to edit and make my videos. I could do some live streams, and we can have people come over and all YouTubers come over and collaborate with each other. So that's something I plan on doing. I know Michael's Fish Room. Shout out to Michael's Fish Room. He actually lives in New Jersey, which is not very far from here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you live in New Jersey. Um, got all that good stuff. So I do have a lot planned for videos, but I'm limited right now of what I can do until this area is built out. Um, I mean, it shouldn't be too crazy, but it just relies on everything else done. I can't really throw up walls without the smaller stuff being done. Ah, see that Dan watches Mike too. I follow him on Facebook, and all his posts are great. I love his sarcasm. He's really one of the most sarcastic people I've ever met. So, what kind of videos are you guys willing to see? Any requests or anything for project build wise? I know that some of you were interested in building your own fish rooms. So, what kind of things are you looking for that? Because then I could plan some videos based on that kind of information. I said that really weird. Based on that information, so you guys have something valuable to work off of. Definitely, I know filtration is always a large one. So there's filtration, stocking. Um, the air in here is horrible. It's like I'm breathing in cement particles. Definitely not good for your lungs. So that's going to be the biggest project I think is scrubbing these walls and getting all of this powder off. If you look really closely, just rub the floor. Oh, you can't even tell. Well, you can't tell on camera, but it's covered in this chalky powder from the cement. Automatic water changes. Yes, I plan on automatic water changes. That's going to be a video. Joey Mullen, who's from the DIY, he has a lot of videos on that, and I plan on using them to create my own systems. So you guys can follow me with that, so you can watch my failures. I mean, as I succeed, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of failures, but you guys can follow me with that. What am I thinking about for stands? So I actually want to create my own custom stands. I did see a lot of them online that were these like metal stocking shelves that you see at your grocery store. Some of the most intense grocery stores have them. They do have them online, but they were a bit pricey. They would be able to withstand all the tanks on them, but I was going to try to keep everything down to a DIY project. Um, so I was thinking just doing some 2x4s and creating my own racks, and then putting some nice wood trim, turning them into something that looks more presentable, something nicer, so they don't look like the stairs right over here that we have right now. So that's what I'm thinking about for stands. What's going on, Arachne Gamer? This floor is really humid. I feel like I'm standing in a puddle of water, but there is none right now. It's just so cool down here, which is actually really good because in the summer it won't get too hot, in the winter it won't get too cold, especially since I want to say the window's over there. We're about 6 feet right now underground. Thank you for the suggestion, Dan. I've actually looked at one of those, and I plan on using those. It's like a three-step process, I believe. If you'll correct me. 3 layers on the walls, and then you can start putting up the frames of 2x4 around. So that might make this area smaller as you build it out. But again, there's a large amount of room out here. I don't plan on doing anything super crazy here. That side, again, fish room, maybe a small gym over here. Something small because I could just get a gym membership and then have a small gym here for when I don't feel like going out. Probably up to where that second pole is. Everything's inverted on my camera right now. So that's the first one. Is that the first one? No. this way up to here, have the fish room and the workout station on that side. And then on this side, from that wall, from where the stairs are to this wall, have like a hangout area, like a TV, couches, just like another room. So you don't have to use the main part of the house for that kind of stuff. But it all has to come together at once. Once you insulate the walls, the big part is doing the wiring. Again, like I said, the wiring, the water, insulating the walls, because that all has to be done at once. And then once that's done, everything else is easy. You just start throwing walls, dividing this area up, and the room is practically done. You paint it, first you got to put the sheetrock up, and then you paint it. Then everything else comes together with that. Let's see, what other comments we have on here? Can I do more videos about creating my own strain? Actually, yes, I will. That's going to be one of my larger projects, and that's why I want to have 8 of the 10-gallon breeders, so I could do that. The more tanks you have, the better it is for creating your own strain. So that's why I would prefer my amount is 8 of those. 4 and 4. I could have the females in one, the males in the other, juveniles, fry, all that good stuff. White paint to seal the basement walls and floors. I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, the walls, I know even if you insulate them, they're going to always weep. So you do have to have a draining system somewhere over here, which I don't think this house actually came with. I know my parents' house. Sorry if I'm spinning you guys around too quick. My parents' house actually had a drain hole that if water ever got in, but I don't really see anything over here. The stairs have to be worked on. It's not the greatest or nicest entrance. The rest of the house is actually set up pretty well. It's just the basement, which there's a fire alarm right there that's covered up. Well, that's not good. If there's a fire down here, I wouldn't even know. Well, thanks, guys. You just saved my life. I'm gonna have to take that cover off of there. I think that's the only fire alarm down here. And then I really can't stand these drawstring lights. The rest of the house, I switched out a lot of the light fixtures, and I put LED bulbs. These are just regular bulbs right now. So I went for the more efficient. I plan on doing the rest of the house like that. Keep everything efficient, low cost, LEDs. Eventually, solar panels are going up on the house. So Frost asked if I could do more videos on setting up my tanks and will they be aquascaped? Many of you have followed my channels know that I usually keep my tanks bare bottom, and for most of my projects, I will be keeping all these tanks bare bottom. That includes all the 10-gallon tanks. The 40-gallon breeders, though, I think what I want to do is have maybe one tank with discus and maybe the other tank with angelfish. And if that plan goes as planned, I will be doing aquascaping in those because those will be like display tanks, tanks that actually look nice, while the other ones are more functional. I've actually wondered about doing guppy molly hybrids, but you have to get mollies that are not acclimated to salt water. Once you put them in fresh water, they tend to die. And guppies, even though they could take pretty much a lot of salt water, I rather keep fresh. I don't want to really mess around having to keep the salt levels, certain levels, and all that good stuff. Yeah, the dust cover definitely has to go. The rest of the house had them. I took them all off. I guess I missed the basement. I didn't think there would be a smoke detector down here and an unfinished basement, but I guess to meet code, they had to have it there. So that's going to have to come off. I don't know what else will be missing here. They left us a bunch of leftover supplies. So we have paint, China white, which is the rest of the house. We got some sand grout. How much is in here? Good amount. And then we have some of the tiles left over from the bathroom. I'm sure I could use those for something. I don't know what that is. Oh, and then tile from the kitchen. That's actually a good amount of tiles. I could use them for something else. I could also do that. Yeah, air bear, that'd be great. Having the tanks in the main hangout area. Don't know if I trust my friends, but I'm just kidding. I do trust my friends. Um, I could do a mix and match of both. Have the display tanks in my fish room with my other tanks and also have something out here. Maybe, just maybe, I might do, I know my girlfriend's been asking me for a while to do a large display tank for saltwater because she really likes the way the saltwater fish look. So maybe this is just an idea I just had. Thank you. Thank you, sparked this idea. Um, have the fish room with my tanks that I work on and the projects and the DIY projects and the videos for you guys. And then maybe on this wall, I just stepped on something. Maybe on this wall, have a large, maybe 50, 60 gallon custom saltwater tank. It's going to be a lot of work to take care of that one, but I think that would be a good centerpiece in this room. Yeah, that's one of the big things I liked about this house. It is a new construction. We found it back in October. So I know you guys have been hearing about me talk about this house forever, but we found it back in October. It's a new construction. There was no road in front of the house. It was just a dirt road. And in order to get the CO, which is certificate of occupancy, any of you guys buying houses, reach out to me. I know I learned a lot in these last 8 months since October. You wouldn't be able to get a certificate of occupancy if you didn't have the road in front of the house. And then they also had to get the public water in, and that took forever. Since it was October, we live in New York, the winters get pretty cold. The ground froze. And since the ground was frozen, they would not put in the main water. So we had to wait until April until they were able to get the water in, then the road, and there was a bunch of other crap going back and forth with them until we were able to close July 23rd. So we've been in the house almost a month. It'll be a month soon. We moved right in, started moving things in, but there was a bunch of small projects just to get the house livable. Justin Williams, yeah. I think once this whole area is enclosed and the fish room is actually ready to start building the fish room itself, air is going to be the first thing I want to do. I want to set up the air systems before the tanks are in there because the tanks start getting in the way. So as long as I know what tanks I want and where I want them, I'll start doing the water system, start doing the filtration, start doing the water change systems, and then I'll put the tanks in just to make it easier because it's hard to move and do things when there's large tanks in the way. So this is pretty much the area I got to work with. You guys will be seeing a lot more videos down here. It's not the nicest place right now. It's a little hard to breathe, so I'm gonna probably have to wear a mask whenever I come down here. And then the build will start, and then we'll have 2, maybe 3 videos a week. To get wow, I'm choking on this powder stuff in the air. Then we'll start doing those videos, and we'll have something to work with. So nothing right now, nothing too exciting. My next video, so you guys can know what to expect. My next video is going to be how to get a tank from my parents' house, which is about 15 miles away, 15, 20 miles away, all the way over here, and then setting it up in this corner of the basement because that's where the outlet is. Water changes for this time is going to be a challenge. I'm going to have to carry buckets of water up and down the stairs to do the water change in those tanks, but we'll figure something out. And then the build starts, and that's going to be the easy part. But getting the tank here might be a challenge. I'm just going to drain it down, catch the fish, put the fish in bags, and then just drive them over. So I have a truck, so it's not that difficult to move them. But that's what you guys could expect to see, and then we're good to go. All right, guys, thanks for checking it out, and welcome to the new Home Aquatics Fish Room. Subscribe. See you guys.